You've got all the marketing data in BigQuery halfway collected. G4 data? Sure, it's expert. Google Ads data? Yes, BigQuery data transfer. Facebook ads? Oh, sure, Meta. Yes, that's it, obviously. But now someone from the marketing team says, hey, can we also add the Microsoft Ads details to the same dashboard you've shared with us? And just like that, your weekend is gone, because pulling Bing Ads data into BigQuery is anything but smooth. Their API is still SOAP. It speaks XML. You have to manually export CSVs and then load it into BigQuery with a scheduled but manual workflow that breaks when you are off. Or you could just use a SaaS tool, but those cost some money that's not your budget. Still have some limits per connector or fields availability, and often leave you guessing what actually got pulled and when. And that is exactly why we built this, a 100% free, open source Microsoft Ads to BigQuery connector designed specifically for data analysts who need clean, structured and fresh campaign data inside BigQuery to blend, model and visualize ad performance across channel, or build any other reports for stakeholders. Our connector runs in your Google Cloud. There is no vendor lock-in, no per connector billing, no billing at all basically. And you can customize the schema, logic and schedule to match exactly your team's workflow. Hey there, my name is Yevgen, I'm from OWOX. This channel is where we help data analysts automate reporting, eliminate bottlenecks and finally own their reporting pipelines without using Python and without bullshit. In this video, I will show you how to load Microsoft Ads data into BigQuery automatically, securely, on your terms, and completely free. Whether you are building a blended ROAS report, daily spend tracker, or full funnel attribution model, this 100% free connector will give you the foundation you need. Now, before we jump in, 3 quick things. 1. Subscribe to this channel and enable notifications so you don't miss the new connector tutorials we release. Number 2, give our GitHub repo a star so you don't lose it and so we know that this was helpful to you. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And number 3, like this video and add a comment below if you have ever struggled with getting Bing Ads data where you actually need them. Alright, let's go to make Microsoft Ads play nice with BigQuery. You may reasonably ask, why are we making this available for free? It's because for us at OWOX, data ownership matters, because reporting should be fast, reliable, and under control, and because too many tools overcharge for something that should be accessible to everyone across the team for better decisions. We wanted to build something different. And hint, we did. We want data connectivity and ownership to stop being a bottleneck for reporting. With our connectors library, everything runs in your environment. You own the data, you control the schema, you choose the metrics to load and schedule updates right from inside Google Sheets. It's built in JavaScript, and you can read or edit every line of code. And yes, this one is free forever. And Node.js edition we're working on is going to be available via npm install from GitHub into your infrastructure shortly, so stay tuned. With this being said, let me show you exactly how this connector works. Let's get started. So step number 1, you need the template. Go to our GitHub, select the relevant template, and create a copy by selecting File, Make a Copy. That way, it's saved to your own Google Drive and fully editable. It's fully free from marketing things like email collection, so you can just go and do that on GitHub. But if you also want the instructions to be sent by email, you can download this template using the link below in the description. I will ask you for the email just to send you the instruction. I promise not to sell you anything. Great, you've copied the document. Now let's configure the connector so it knows exactly what to fetch and from where. First, go to the config sheet. Start by setting the start date for your import. This tells the script when to begin pulling data from. Just note, pulling a huge data range might cause issues due to the API limit, so I will just put something recent here like June 1, 2025. Next, end date. It's optional, but I would still add the end of June here. Next, we need to locate the account ID and customer ID. Basically, you can log into ads.microsoft.com and you will find both the account ID and customer ID in the browser's address bar. Paste these values into the corresponding fields in the config sheet. Then we'll jump into the fields sheet. This is where you select the metrics, breakdowns, and dimensions you care about, like campaign name, cost, impressions, clicks. Just check the boxes that you need to get inside your Google Sheets. Just check the boxes that you want to collect inside your BigQuery. Some fields might already be pre-selected by default to get you started, but you are free to customize them however you want. And if you want to pull more, there are optional fields available here as well. It's like hundreds of them. Just stay in the Fields tab and check the boxes for any additional dimensions or metrics you need for your specific reports. Now, let's choose the aggregation level. In the config sheet, use the drop-down to choose how your data should be aggregated, like daily, weekly, hourly. I'll go with daily. Next, we need to define the reporting time zone. Pick the correct time zone for how your reporting dates should align. Next, we need to set your BigQuery destination. Let's hear the dataset ID in the form of project ID dot dataset ID. And we also need to specify the BigQuery region for your dataset. If the dataset doesn't already exist, it will be created automatically in the location that you specify. I'll just leave it as it is in the template. I'll just have US here for my location. And now let's go through a few optional but really useful fields in the same config sheet. So we'll start with the max fetching dates, which is the maximum number of days for which you will fetch the data going backwards. Reimport lookback window is the number of days before the most recent imported date to refetch data. By default, it's 2 days. As you know, ad platforms are typically changing the ads details going back, so that's why we need this. And finally, we have an optional thing here, which is called the max buffer size, which is by default 1000, and which is the number of records to store in the memory before saving to the storage, in this case to BigQuery. It's used to optimize performance and memory usage when processing large amount of data. And that's it. All your config is done, and you are fully in control of what's going to be fetched and where it ends up. Now, let's connect the dots. To pull data from your Microsoft Ads account, you need to authorize access. To authorize the connector to access your data, you will need to generate the following credentials: developer token, client ID, client secret, and the refresh token. I know that sounds like it's a lot, but that's actually easy. Let's break down how to do it step by step. So, as you imagine from an open source project, our instruction might change from time to time. The most relevant edition of it is always available on our GitHub. So just select the ad platform like Bing Ads, go to the README, and find the credentials guide. Here it is, to hear exactly what we are going to do here. So first, if you haven't yet done so, you need to register an app in Microsoft Azure. In the Azure portal, go to the search bar and find App Registration Service. Click New Registration and fill out the form. The name, I'll put something like OWOX Connector. Supported account types. Well, basically we need to select accounts in any organizational directory. Any Microsoft Entra ID tenant, multi-tenant, and personal Microsoft accounts. It's number 3. The redirect URI is optional, but basically we need to have it. So we'll select the web platform here and type something like localhost 8080 inside. Let's go back to our instruction and see what's next here. So now we need to generate client credentials. In your registered app, go to Client Credentials, add a certificate or secret on the right corner. Click New Client Secret. Provide a description, like, for example, Client Secret for OWOX Connectors app. Choose the maximum expiration period, which I recommend putting it like 730 days. And Microsoft it's great here that the tokens really live almost forever. It's very important here to copy and securely save the client secret value, because you won't be able to see it again later, and you will need to go generate a new one and go through the following process again and again. So at this point we have the client ID, the client secret, and the redirect URI. So the next step, we need to get your developer token. In the Bing Ads interface, go to Settings, Developer Settings. Click Request Token and copy the generated developer token. Now we need to generate an authorization code. Great. So first we need to create a URL by replacing the client ID with your client ID, just like this one. Again, that's why I'm going into GitHub, because I need to share some kind of URLs with you to make something. So you basically grab this URL, go to this client ID and replace it with exactly your client ID. Then you open this URL in your browser. You log in and authorize the app by clicking Accept. And after authorization, you will be redirected to the local host 8080, exactly the redirect URI you've mentioned before. And you will get the code at the end of the URL. So basically you need to copy the code value from the URL. Just like this one, if your redirect URL looks like this, then the code is everything starts from M and ends with B. And last step, we need to exchange the authorization code for a refresh token. So basically we need to make a GET request in any of the tool like Postman or any other. Here's the URL we need to send the request to, and we need to add the following parameters here as form data or in the body of the request, just exactly as it's shown here. So you need to add the client ID and place your client ID. You need to add the client secret and paste your client secret. You need to add the grant type with the value of authorization underscore code. And then you basically need that authorization code right here in the next field with the word code. That's exactly the one we've been just getting from the URL. Then we need to specify the redirect URI, which is the local host 8080. And then we need to add the scope exactly as it's specified here. And after a successful request, you will receive a refresh token in the response. So basically store it securely, and this token will be used to authenticate all of the API requests. Finally, let's add all of those details into your template. So basically go back to your template, click OWOX Manage Credentials. We need to authorize the app script. We need to select all of the details here and click Continue. And now everything you have to do is basically to add those four fields here: the developer token, the client ID, the client secret, and the refresh token that you've just got from making the GET request to the specified Microsoft URL. That's it. When you add all of those details, don't forget to click Save, so your access credentials will be stored inside your Google document, inside this spreadsheet, not on our end, not on any other SaaS platform end. It's gonna be 100% yours. Once your credentials are saved, it's time to run the import and load the data straight into BigQuery. In your Google Sheet, go to OWOX menu, Import New Data. The script will now fetch the selected data from the config sheet and stream it directly into the BigQuery project and that you specified. If this is your first time, you'll be prompted to grant access to your Google Cloud account and approve the required scopes. Once authorized, the script starts running. You'll see a real-time progress log appear with each batch of data being sent to BigQuery. Each section of fields you selected, for example, campaign level or ad level metrics, will be written into its own BigQuery table following a clear naming. When it finishes, you will see a message saying import finished. And that's it. Your ads data is now stored in BigQuery. From here, you can query it with SQL, build dashboards in Looker Studio, or join it with other tables inside your warehouse. You are now in full control at scale. Now that everything's working, let's set up a daily refresh so your Microsoft Ads data is always up to date. Here is how you do it. In your Google Sheet, go to Extensions, AppScript, Triggers. Then click Add Trigger. Let's set it up. Choose which function to run, import new data. Choose which deployment should run, head. Select event source, time-driven. Select type of time-based triggers, for example, day timer. Select time of day, pick your preferred time window. I'll go with 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day, and that's it. Click Save. Don't forget to make a new deployment. And don't worry, if anything goes wrong, AppScript will send you an email with the error log. Now your connector will run every day automatically, loading new data from the platform API into your infrastructure, Google Sheets or BigQuery, without you lifting a finger. Alright, your Bing Ads data is now flowing directly into Google BigQuery. So, what can you actually do with it right now? Now that your raw ad data is in BigQuery, you can join it across the tables using the keys. You can join that with any other advertising data from other platforms. You can build a blended ad spends table. You can map that with conversions data from GA4 to BigQuery Expert, CRM data, and internal conversions event using SQL. Basically, you are not limited anymore to reporting or using the data inside BigQuery. Or you can build attribution models now. Whether you're working with simple last-touch attribution or building custom multi-touch logic, machine learning funnel-based attribution like we do at OWOX, BigQuery gives you that full flexibility. And this connector ensures that you've got the freshest ad data ready for you. Are you running ad campaigns across accounts in multiple currencies? Use our Open Exchange Rates connector to load daily exchange rates into BigQuery and normalize the spend across accounts. You can also build a cross-platform ROAS dashboard by pulling in Facebook ads, TikTok ads, LinkedIn ads, X, Twitter, Reddit, Microsoft X Bing ads, and Criteo ads data inside using our other free connectors. They are all live and available now for you. Or you can plug BigQuery directly into Looker Studio, Power BI, or whatever other tool your team uses for visualization, and visualize your unified, up-to-date performance dashboards without bottlenecks or manual CSV exports. And finally, you can use scheduled queries, DBT, OWOXDatamarts Community Edition that we are releasing in July 2025, or other orchestration tools to keep your reporting pipelines running cleanly and automatically, now that you've got the data where it belongs. And the best part, there is no vendor lock-in, no credit card is required, and there is no black box magic happening underneath. You own the data, you own the logic, you own the outcome. If you ever want to tweak the schema, add fields, or fork the connector, go for it. It's built in JavaScript, not Python, so you can customize it yourself or with a little help of ChatGPT. And if you want to contribute to our open source movement, just add a connector, request a feature, or improve the docs, just go ahead and do that inside our GitHub repo. We'd love to have you inside our community. So, what's next? First, grab the free connector on GitHub. The link is in the description. Second, give it a star on GitHub. It helps us know that this is useful and motivates us to keep building those connectors. Third, if you had any issues or want to request a new connector, head to Discussions or Issues tab on GitHub. Our team checks those every day. Then, subscribe to this YouTube channel and enable notifications so you don't miss the next tutorials for our free connectors and the orchestration platform release. We'll call it OWOXDatamarts Community Edition, and yes, that one is going to be free as well. And finally, if you're feeling ambitious and want to create your own connector, check out our Contributors Guide. We'll feature your work, give you a backlink, showcase your story if you want, and we'll help you promote it. That's it. No vendor lock, no paywalls, no mysteries. Just you and your connector in your spreadsheet, in full control over your data connectivity. Thanks for watching this video, and if this saved you time or money or both, just drop a comment and let me know. I'm Yevgen from OWOX, and I've got more tutorials coming soon, so stay data curious, and as always, happy analyzing!